Hi, it's Leigh Anne, and today we are making slow cooker salsa verde pork, and we're making it in the slow cooker. Now, today's recipe is a full batch recipe. Now, I know you're used to coming here and finding small batch recipes, but hang on, sometimes you just need a full-size recipe, whether the kids have come home for a visit, you have company, or you just want leftovers. So join me in the kitchen as we make a full batch recipe with big taste. Now, today's recipe has been a family favorite for years. In fact, I think it is the recipe my kids made more than any other recipe when they were in college. And there were several reasons why. First of all, it was easy. It was delicious, and they could make it in the slow cooker, so they could put it in the morning, go to class, come home, and dinner was ready. It makes a nice big batch, so they could eat it all week long. And what college student doesn't love that? And it's versatile. They could serve it on a taco, in an enchilada, in a burrito, on top of rice, on top of nachos. So many possibilities. Now, I love making this recipe when the kids and the grandbabies come home for a visit because I don't want to spend all day cooking in the kitchen. I want to be playing with those grandbabies. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start by mixing up our sauce that is going to go over our pork. And you are going to need some Salsa Verde. And I'm using this La Victoria thick and chunky. It's basically green salsa. Now, of course, if you prefer, you can use a red salsa, but then it wouldn't be Salsa Verde, would it? Because verde means green. But I like to use the green. So we're going to add 2 cups of that into our bowl. And then we're going to add a cup of chicken broth. Get all of that in there. And a cup of diced chopped onion. I use what I call cheater onion. It's what you buy frozen in the frozen vegetable section of the grocery store because I hate chopping onion. So there we go. And then we're going to add in some spices. Now, my college students didn't always have all of these spices, but they kind of just, so you can use some of them or all of them in. But cumin is really important. And so a teaspoon of cumin, you want to put 1 teaspoon in, and then I'm also using, now this may be the one maybe you don't have, and sometimes I didn't have, was coriander. So this is the one. If you've got it, great. It adds great flavor. If not, you're still going to be okay. A teaspoon of coriander. And then oregano, which usually people have on hand. So a teaspoon of oregano. All right. And that's it. We're just going to mix that up, and then we're going to get ready to pour this over our pork. All right, one thing I always made sure my kids had in their college apartments was a slow cooker. Now, if you're wondering if you can make this in the Instapot, you totally can. Hang on here for a little bit, and I will show you how to do that. So we're going to take our pork. Now, another beauty of this is pork can tend to be a little less expensive than beef can. And so I like to use a pork shoulder roast, a pork butt, a pork picnic roast. This is actually a cut that my local store calls pork carnitas, and it's what I'm using today. And it's about 3 pounds. And so if you're using a full-size roast, go ahead and just kind of chop it up into some smaller chunks. It'll help it cook a little bit easier, more evenly, and a little faster. So we're just going to pop our pork, voila, here we go, into, trying to do this left-handed, our slow cooker. And then you don't have to brown the meat or anything ahead of time. Just pop it right in there. Then we will take our mixture, our salsa mixture, pour it over our pork. And then we're going to put the lid on it, and then we are going to cook it on low for 6 to 7 hours. All right, now I have taken the pork out of the slow cooker. You'll be able to tell it's done because it's going to totally fall apart when you lift it out of the slow cooker. And I've just taken 2 forks and I have just shredded it into smaller pieces. Now, if you want to leave it in bigger chunks, you can totally do that. But we're going to serve it in tacos, so I've shredded it up pretty small. Now we're going to take it. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to pop it in the oven for just a few minutes to let those edges get nice and brown and crispy. We're going to take the juices that are left in the slow cooker, pour them into a saucepan, bring them to a boil, and then let them simmer for maybe 10 minutes to thicken up a bit. And then we're going to use this as a little bit of a gravy over the meat. All right, after those edges are crisped up, it is ready to serve. I've got my sauce over here on the stove top. And I like to just pour a little of this. I'm going to have to switch to my right hand here. Pour a little bit over my meat just to kind of keep it a little bit more moist, and especially after if you've had some leftovers in the refrigerator for a day or two, it's nice to kind of save some of this and then rehydrate the meat a little bit with it. There we go. And then, now I promised you I'd tell you how to make this in the Instapot. Very easy. I've got my directions right here so I can check it out. You're just going to place everything in Instapot just like you did in the crock pot, your meat and your sauce, and you've got enough liquid with the chicken broth and the salsa for the Instapot. You are going to put the lid on, turn it to sealing, not venting. I like to just use the manual meat setting, which is about high pressure at about 35 minutes. And then just do a 10-minute natural release, then a quick release, and shred your meat. And then you can crisp it up in the oven if you want. Use the juice just the same way. So easy, easy. All right, so it's ready for tacos, burritos, however you want to use it. Now, if you're interested in some more full-size batch slow cooker recipes, I just happen to have written a slow cooker cookbook. I'm going to link to it below, and there's 100 slow cooker recipes in the Holiday Slow Cooker Cookbook is what it's called. So thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, and be sure to check out down below for some more full-size batch recipes and some small-size batch recipes, and we'll see you in the next video.